What's happening, crypto fam? Welcome back to Love for Crypto. I'm Scott. It's a pleasure to have you here. I appreciate you taking the time out to consume the content. So thank you. We're back with another one, an article. Quite exciting. So let's get into it. This could be massive for mass adoption within a subscription-based gaming community. So EVE Online, subscription-based game. There's a free trial. Anyone wants to try it out, and then you pay a subscription. They're introducing Project Awakening. So there's a little preview. It's an online crypto game within the EVE world. It's not replacing EVE. It's within the world. And it is a massive world, let me tell you. One of the biggest gaming communities out there. Has some of the biggest battles, some of the biggest wars. It's in the Guinness Book of World Records. It's absolutely fascinating. Little dig into this. Links in the description if you want to have a read of it yourself. I won't be reading every little bit of it. Also link to the actual project to register for phase 3 if you want to. But this is exciting, not just for gamers, but for anyone in the crypto space, because we all know NFTs and token gated access and the rest of it is going to be massive for gaming. But most of the gaming community just can't see it. They're not seeing the trees through the forest through the tree, whatever phrase you want to use, they're just not seeing it. So this, in such a big game, and also subscription-based game where the people are willing to pay a monthly payment to play it, is fantastic because it will help with that broader adoption. So fans of the outer space role-playing game have spent the last 2 decades filling a persistent universe with epic scale battles, launching in-game corporations of over 10,000 players, and developing community lore so extensive that multiple books have been written about it. They've also deployed extensive tools and data platforms around CCP games creation, plugging holes and expanding on the game in ways that the Icelandic studio hadn't even conceived of. The founder and CEO, Hilmar Veigar Pétursson, sorry if I butchered that, they told Decrypt that half of the activity on EVE Online's database is now generated by externally developed code. That's fascinating. EVE Online players embrace a decentralized ethos before Bitcoin was even a twinkle in Satoshi's eye, but it was built as a traditional or Web2 online game by a centralized game studio. It's done its best to give the community access to data through APIs, which they call functional tools. But there are limitations and shortcomings. Of course, we continue to do this. We're developing our API, we're developing our infrastructure. It's in a recent interview, but there is not a better way to do Is there not a better way to do this? Fundamentally just accepting the premise that the game was going to be programmable by players and developers, and everyone by default. So you can see it's very community driven, it's community friendly. I absolutely love the game, the people who play it. So Project Awakening, it's coming to life through a startup, Lattice. The Project Awakening, it's a game that will demand collaboration from players to survive in an unforgiving world. And it gives CCP games an opportunity to develop a new kind of EVE experience using the tools of today. So here's a first look inside EVE's crypto evolution. So you will collaborate or perish. Love that. I know a lot of people like PvP. A lot of COD players like PvP. It's all about that stuff. But I much prefer PvE. And at the moment, PvE with groups of players going against the AI they can create today is absolutely fascinating. And make no mistake, they just tweet that AI up. There's almost no one on the planet that'll be able to beat them. So in the way that they have to make us collaborate or perish, I'm massive fan of that. We go off the size of the battles that we see in Ready Player One. We all know Readyverse is on the horizon, Futureverse on the horizon, Walker World. There's countless amounts of metaverses coming out. The size of the battles in Ready Player One are the size of the battles you see in EVE. If not, the EVE battles are bigger. So announced in March, alongside a 40 million funding round, Project Awakening is the first blockchain game built in the EVE Online universe. It's not attempting to replicate EVE Online's well-established approach, nor is it meant to replace the enduring online simulation. Project Awakening won't be an epic scale, massively multiplayer online game. Instead, it will be a more focused, survival-centric experience that fully embraces the crypto ethos of decentralized development. CCP will develop and really polish the hell out of the core game. So the community can handle much of the rest, which that makes you think that you'd be mintable assets within the framework, or maybe level creation, character creation, who knows what. It sounds like they won't have a choice but to collaborate if they want to survive. In the beginning, the world is like a massive beast to be tamed. It's angry, it's primal, it's evil, and it's out to get you, he said. The world of Project Awakening literally wants to kill you. How can you evade death in a space game that's out to get you? Players need to band together to survive in the first days. He explained. Sounds sick, mate. It'll entail developing coordination tools within the game, but Project Awakening won't simply be a game for programmers. Not all of the tools involve programmers, and some of the tools more like composable things you piece together. Minecraft-like experience. So I can't read when I'm thinking. I'm sorry. I'm usually a pretty good reader when I don't think about it. But when I start thinking, I can't fucking read. It's not voxel-based, but you're piecing together infrastructure to survive in this evil world. Now, they're heavy words. That's fighting talk, that, bro. That evil. To emphasize the apparently lopsided conflict in Project Awakening, he adds, in the beginning, you are a tiny little human monkey trying to survive in space. You're on your own. It sounds like you're done. Like, you're going to need help. You need to band together. The project won't just be EVE Online with crypto tokens slapped onto it. But while the game has been through 2 playtest sessions already, with another ahead, we haven't seen the game in action, and participants have been bound by a non-disclosure agreements, the typical NDAs, shutting people. We'll hear soon enough. So it's going to be a new modern spaceship experience, built on the team's 20 years of development on EVE, albeit with cool, newfangled tools created in collaboration with Lattice. The startup powers Ethereum-based on-chain games using the Optimism Scaling Network's OP tech stack, and CCP is using Lattice MUD framework. Interesting. It's all going on-chain by the looks of it. How exactly will Project Awakening use blockchain, though? If players are expected to create tools and systems in a world governed by a decentralized ledger, then how much of that output will be represented on-chain? Dark Forest's fully on-chain approach and the apparent sway it had on a vision for the Project Awakening potentially gives some clues. I think people will be shocked to find out how the game is architected. Actually, never heard that. Architected. Constructed, not a better word there, mate. But anyway, architected when it comes to what's going on chain and what is not on chain. That's it. Regarding player-created content, which Lattice's Gilbert described as user-generated logic, he said that such content will be on the EVM, the Ethereum Virtual Machine, in this week's announcement. So logic, when someone in the game industry mentions logic, that can be anything from fucking doors, code to open doors, to level logic, mission logic, NPC logic, AI logic. That's broad term. When it's user-generated logic is an extremely broad term. Could mean anything and everything. Why do I think this is so big, basically, is the thing. Is phase 3 nears, like I say, if you want to go, links in the description, projectawakening.io, go and register for phase 3 if you want to have a little dabble on it. But the reason I think this is going to be so big is basically because of how big EVE's been in the past. Again, this is a subscription-based gaming community. People who are willing to pay a certain amount of money every month to enter that world and continue to participate and contribute in the in-game economy and the battles and wars. Now, they have had the Battle of BR5RB in 2014 was the biggest battle ever seen in gaming. Ever. Period. At the time. Done. It was that. Some may still say it is that, depending on the scale of the battle. If you judge it off the amount of value that was lost, might be another battle. If you judge it by the amount of ships that were destroyed, it could be this battle. But there's, mate, the most expensive video game battles ever. EVE Online breaks its own Guinness World Record. We've got battles that are losing over $300,000 in value. Ship's gone. Gone, mate. Imagine an NFT ship. Ooh! Imagine an NFT ship that, if it is completely destroyed, a mechanism on the blockchain and inside the game burns the NFT and it is just gone. But not only is the ship gone, depending on how fast you evacuated your ship, you've lost loads of NFT characters, loads of NFT NPCs, loads of parts for the ship, from weapons to fuel cells to warp drives. Could all just be gone. These battles are absolutely massive. There's actually a big war at the moment. Or has it ended? Might have ended. The most expensive video game battle ever. The massacre at M2 XFE. Record holder in the Guinness Book of Records at time of writing, February 4, 2021. Announced today the players have broken a further 2 Guinness World Records in EVE Online. Community-driven, massive multiplayer online game with gigantic battle resulting from the game's ongoing interplayer war. More than 5,000 players duked it out for territorial control as what's been called the massacre at M2 XFE, a New Year's Eve clash between 2 of EVE Online's biggest. Oh my god, just two coalitions, the biggest player-run coalitions, 2 of them. You know, like 5,000 players going at it. 2 clans, man. That's crazy. So here we go. Here's the difference. So, like we were saying, the amount of ships, the amount of value. So the most costly video game battle with $378,000, mate. Damn, son. Players lost that value, guys. You're talking about seeing portfolio value disappear. That value was lost. Now, these guys are going to get a taste of NFTs and actual resellable value. Granted, not all of them will realise how to do it on Ethereum at first, and it'll mainly stay within the in-game economy at first, I'd imagine. But, I mean, 257 Titans. Now, you don't have to be a genius to know and understand that a Titan's going to be a big ship. Yeah. Titan, potentially one of the biggest ships in the game, just by the name of it. I mean, think of a name that sounds bigger than Titan. Next to that, there's not many. So in December 2020, over 5,000 players across 2 of these largest player-run coalitions, Imperium and Pape, participated in the massacre at M2 XFE, a 14-hour fleet fight involving over 1,000 Titans, 400 super carriers, and 400 dreadnoughts. Amidst the chaos of the battle, a record-breaking number of Titans, 257, were destroyed, the largest ship type available in EVE Online. Damn, son. Damn, man. As well as 6 super carriers, 50 carriers, 50 dreadnoughts, with a full total loss of 3,404 ships destroyed. These losses totaled. Damn, son. Oh my days. That's like 29,111,604,784,863 ISK, which is obviously in EVE in-game currency, equating to $378,012 Damn. Beating the previous Guinness World Records of 302 with a bloodbath of beer. Oh my days. This is what I mean. This could be huge for crypto. With it, the amount of money, I mean, this is like $250,000 just going poof in a ward every few years. Like, it's crazy. Now, if they lose the NFT, it's going to be no different. If the NFTs burn themselves when they're destroyed, it's going to be no different than how they've already played the game. But if the NFT just goes down to 1% and then goes on a cooldown and can't come into battle again for a certain amount of weeks or months because it's in the repair thing and you don't actually lose it, that's incentives for them to push a bit of money into that because it's never getting fully lost. It might cost you to repair the ship, but at least you don't lose 3,400 ships that you can't get back, mate. Because they're just bits of material floated around EVE space. Since 2020, a massive player-driven conflict between alliances has been unfolding in EVE dubbed World War B2. Upwards of 130,000 players have battled it out in a war for in-game territory and geopolitical dominance. I mean, geopolitical dominance inside a game, mate. If you ever needed to know that there's a politics, economics, and borders in a game, this is coming to the metaverse, and the crypto Web3 metaverse is coming to this. We're getting that mergence now. I'm super excited about this. But I mean, let's World War B2 is the third such universal war since the game's release in 2003. This is the third EVE World War. Damn, son. With the massacre at M2XFE standing out as the costliest engagement so far in the ongoing conflict. Oh my days, so that one battle was just one battle in this war of 130,000 players. I mean, I didn't think it had that many players. The unfolding war within New Eden has been nothing short of extraordinary this past year. We are humbled that our virtual world has earned not one, but 2 Guinness World Record titles. This could never have happened without our dedicated community. 20 years on, and there's world wars in a fictional space. Yeah. So I'm honestly, guys, this is like, as I said at the beginning, this is Ready Player One level battles in a game that exists now that's about to have Web3 crypto digital assets influx into its economy and game mechanics. I think this is super exciting. Anyone bullish about crypto, metaverse, and Web3 gaming should be super excited about this, whether you're going to play it or not. This will get the subscription-based gaming community talking. It will get the gaming community as a whole talking. Like, a lot of gamers will always talk about the battles of EVE. I've never played EVE, but I know about the battles because they're just that big. I'm a gamer, and almost every gamer or sci-fi gamer knows about EVE Online battles. And if you didn't, you do now. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you excited about potentially either playing EVE and getting some NFTs, going and seeing what these battles are like, or just the buzz and the hype and attention of Web3 digital assets and gaming NFTs taking off within the mainstream gaming community? Let us know what you think. Like and share if you aren't already subscribed. And yeah, you know the dance. Strive for happiness, not riches. Live long and huddle. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.